In my classroom, we use the arts to teach all the subjects. The reason that we integrate the arts is because it allows the students to be physically engaged in a way that a lot of subjects don't allow for. So if they can get up out of their chairs and go through the motions and go through the movements, they can get it in their bodies and they can understand it in a deeper way. So we are going to get started. What I'd like to begin with today is reviewing some of the words that we have been dealing with in terms of inclusion and exclusion. We're talking about characters from our novel, and we have some of the words posted on the board. Could somebody just read out a couple of the words? Simone. The students are all reading different novels. They're in different novel study groups. And the characters in those books are a little bit of, I would say, outsiders. So we looked at all our books, and we decided that that was a common theme throughout the different books. And we wanted to explore a little bit about the characters and what they were going through and what it's like to be an insider and what it feels like to be an outsider.
Rejected, sad, confused, neglected, lonely, desperate.
And those are the words. What kinds of words were those? Were those words that, what was the character feeling, what was happening with the character when we were having those words?
They were probably having a hard time coping with the stuff that was happening around it.
Excellent. Very good.
Yeah, it really actually helps me because you actually get to do it. Like, you feel what they are going through and you can act them out, so then you can like see exactly what they've been through and how you can help it and everything like that.
When the characters felt that they were being encouraged, near the ends of the stories, when the community came around them, their words were more hopeful, right? So we had words like encouraged, hopeful, appreciated, wanted, included, relieved, surprised, happy. And these are all the words that we were using to generate our dance. Okay, very nice. I think also using the senses, using sight, sound, what they smell, what they feel, what they taste. I think the senses are not used enough in school, and I think that's what we come with, and I think it makes sense to use what we have to explore different ideas. What does exclusion look like?
Like, I can describe what it would kind of look like.
Okay.
So you could kind of see a group of people on, let's say, one side of the room, but then like one person on the other side. So exclusion technically it means people are doing one thing, but then they leave the other person out.
So you want to say it looks like leaving out?
Yes.
Really good. What does exclusion feel like?
It would feel like you've just been hit in the stomach, like really hard, because you would feel like really left out and feel really, really sad about that.
Okay, hit in the stomach. Nice. I mean, not nice, but very expressive. Anybody have any ideas what it sounds like? Liam.
A person crying.
Beautiful. Sounds like crying. It's so sad. What might it taste like? Paisley?
I think it would taste pretty bitter in your mouth, and
Good for you.
I think you might be trying to ignore it. Because
Nice. One smell. Yes.
It smells like it could smell really stinky.
Okay, now let's lighten things up a little because that was really kind of sad. Let's talk about inclusion. What does inclusion look like?
looks like a lot of people playing and nobody left out.
A lot of people playing together, maybe?
It feels happy.
Great. How does it sound?
Joyful.
And what's a joyful sound?
Like you're screaming happily or laughing.
Okay. Okay, how does it taste? How does inclusion taste? Stacy.
It tastes sweet.
Sweet. And how does it smell? Alfred.
Something just like really appetizing.
Okay, so
Like a bakery.
Like a bakery. Nice. You know, the beauty of the curriculum too is that it's broken down. It's very, very straightforward. It's explained really well. You can actually learn it along with the students. It's that straightforward. And you don't have to be a great dancer to teach dance. You just have to understand what some of the words are and explore them together.
Remember, keep your movements nice and smooth. Wiggle. A new one? Switch in. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And Friday is our Spell-a-thon day. And Fred is a friend of mine. And freeze.
Warm-ups definitely help because like it helps me sort of get loose and it helps me like get a little bit ready. It gets me ready for all the fun stuff that we're gonna do.
Okay, terrific. Now, like how everybody kept the timing, you kept the tempo. And I also like how everybody did something that other people are able to do. Nobody did anything like a backflip or something outrageous that everybody couldn't do. And if you couldn't do something, I like how you modified it and didn't go, oh, I can't do that. You just went for it and did it. So good for you. Nice job. So we're going to move on to our words. So we're going to start working with our words and trying to create some movements to go with them so that we can put together a dance piece to go with our big idea of inclusion and exclusion. So let's have somebody pick a word from the wall. Any word you want. It could be from the senses that we did this morning, or it could be from the words that we generated from our characters. Let's have Natalia.
Surprised?
Surprised. Okay, so what might surprise look like? Who has an idea? Okay, so Natalia has an idea that it might jump up. Okay, now let's try and do it without the sound. I like the sound, but for now, let's just do it without the sound. So we're putting our hands up first, and then we're jumping back on our left foot. Now, what are we going to do with our faces for surprised? I see big eyes. I see big mouths opened. Big eyes and big... So when we do surprise, we're... Okay, so that's what we're calling surprised. Excellent. Who has something else they want to do? Jerome.
Love.
Love. Probably one of our most important words. How are we going to show that emotion? How are we going to show that feeling?
Kind of like bring your arms to your chest.
Okay, and I noticed something else that she's doing. She's bringing it, her body is shaping kind of almost like a C, like she's bringing it around like this, because there's so much love that she has to put in like that, right? Nice. And then maybe once it's in, what are we going to do with that? And how are our feet? What do you see for our feet? Let's see you do it.
Like you step forward and then you take.
Oh, nice. So stepping forward, bringing it in, and holding it to yourself. That's so good. Let's do another one. Angelina?
Mean.
Mean. Okay. What might mean look like?
Like maybe punching somebody.
Okay, so it's a thrust. So it's a nice, fast thing.
Like you're pushing.
Yeah, those are good. Nice. I like the push. Yeah, Christina?
Or it could be like you're kind of like shunning somebody, like.
Mean. Okay, and what are our faces going to look like?
The skills that the students are learning when they're engaging in these different activities are so crucial. They're problem solving, they're working with each other, they're team building, they're figuring out ways to get along and to get something off the ground. And I don't think you can not allow them time to do that.
So if somebody has an idea and somebody else has a different idea, how do we solve that? How do we handle that?
Combine the ideas.
You combine the ideas. Excellent. Good for you. That's one way of handling it.
You could have a compromise.
Excellent. You could have a compromise. You could use part of somebody's idea and part of somebody else's idea and combine them together. What if somebody isn't listening to somebody else? How do you sort that out in your group?
If they were fighting over like who got to do what, maybe they could both do that.
Nice. Does everybody understand what she means by that?
So we took the larger theme of inclusion and exclusion as a starting point, and the character's emotions as a starting point to generate some words. We brainstormed some words together. And then the students took those words and generated art pieces and dance pieces from them.
So what we're going to do now is we're going to get into our groups, our novel study groups. And what I'd like you to do is pick a word from the whole front board here. You can pick any word you want. And you are going to body storm it and come up with some sort of move that everybody's happy with, that everybody contributes to. It might be nice to have a variety of kind of the happier words and the sadder words so that you have some contrast in your piece. So the idea is that we're going to be doing the one word at a time, and then you're going to find a way to combine them into a dance phrase.
My group was using scared, left out, helping, and wanted.
We picked 2 happy and 2 sad. The first one we picked was sad. Second was confused. Third was happy. And fourth was welcome.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
What I look for is I look for authenticity. And how do I find out is I'll very gently question them. And I'll find out, well, where does this come from? And if they aren't able to tell me where it's coming from, then I know that it isn't authentic. And I'll guide them gently into an area that is. You don't want to tell them, no, that's not what I want to see. You want to encourage them to find their own way of saying it.
What I found particularly challenging was when we were practicing it, because sometimes when you're practicing it, like you know it, but when you're practicing it, sometimes it can get a little scary because you're like, oh my gosh, what if I forget? What if this is the last practice? What am I supposed to do?
The culminating part of the unit was to present their pieces expressively, to have, they've all worked together, they've all solved their problems, and then they would present it in a dance piece, a full class dance piece.
1, 2, 3, nice. 5, as big as you can, as expressive as you can. Last time. Use those emotion words. Bravo, guys.
As we're going, I'm constantly looking for them to assess one another, to give each other peer feedback.
Thanks. Okay, so what I have here is a dance reflection and a peer evaluation and assessment. So what I want you to do is look at this and be honest about how you feel you did with your group, with all the good work that you did today, and also to reflect on the dance that you created and what you think it means and why you think it's important.
They're also being self-reflective, and so I take what they write very seriously, so I can tell by what they're writing if they need a little bit more help with the articulation. Are they understanding it?
We did change our dance quite a lot.
After the feedback.
After the feedback, yeah. Yeah, because at first we would just be starting on the ground, but after we just started up and then went down and then came up again. So yeah.
I'm looking to see what they need. I'm looking to see, is the lesson going exactly the way I need it to, or do I need to make some adjustments for kids? Are they getting it? Are they not getting it? Are they speeding through something because it's really easy and that's fine? Or do I need to slow down and do a little bit more? Do I need to go back to some of the process, and do I need to give them some more tools to be able to be successful?
What could we do with this? Okay, everybody close their eyes. And open them.